Okay, so we're taking a look at the cosine graph. Now, this is what we call a periodic function. So this thing continues to go on infinitely. We're only looking at a little piece of it, but we're trying to determine how many degrees from this point on the graph to this point. So again, the cosine or sine graph, they continue to go their waves like so, and we're looking at a full wave. That's what we're looking at right here. And you can see our little amplitudes is 1 and -1. Again, I want to know from the bottom, okay, this point right here, that's where it corresponds to -1, up to where it crosses through the x-axis. This right here, how many degrees is that, okay? Now, this video is kind of geared towards those of you that are studying, obviously, trigonometry, but if you are not studying trigonometry yet, just stick around, you'll learn something about sine and cosine. But this is not that difficult, all right? But it's something that you absolutely need to know if you're going to be studying trigonometry. You've got to be very familiar with the sine and cosine graphs. So we're going to answer this question here. Again, very, very simple, but it's going to be a quick review about the cosine graph. And again, I could have just as easily made this same problem using the sine graph. Okay, but that graph looks a little bit different than this, and we'll talk about that as well in just one second. But first, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TabletClass Math. I'm also a middle and high school math teacher. And over several years, I've constructed what I like to believe is one of the best online math help programs there is. That's a pretty bold statement, and I'll let you be the judge of that. But you can check out my math help program by following the link in the description of this video. Basically, I have 100 plus different math courses ranging from pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2. Going to be launching pre-calculus here shortly. And I have many videos, well, I do have many videos, but I have many math courses in the area of test preparation. So if you're studying for the GED, SAT, ACT, GRE, GMAT, Accuplacer, ALEX, CLEP exam, teacher certification exam, nursing school entrance exam. There's a ton of different exams out there. They all have math on them, so people are looking for ways to review math so they can get through these exams. Let me help you out. Just go to my website. I should have your exam. If I do not, drop me a line and I'll help you out the best I can. I also do a lot with independent learners like homeschoolers. So if you homeschool, I have a great homeschool learning system. I've been working with homeschoolers for 15 plus years. And then lastly, I help those of you that are just having a tough time in your current math courses. Now, if you're truly serious about wanting to learn math or improve in mathematics, then you got to be serious about this. That is note taking. Okay, so over decades of teaching math, this is the key. Okay, those students who take great notes almost always do very, very well. And the reverse is true. Those students who like to pretend that they're taking notes like I did way back in the good old 1980s. The teacher would look at me and I would be like scribbling some stuff down just so they can look the other way. But really what I was writing was little notes to my friends saying, hey, what are we doing this weekend? Because we didn't have any cell phones. We couldn't text, none of that good stuff. But listen, I wasn't taking math serious. I was distracted and my grades reflected that, right? So if you want to be successful in anything, you have to focus. So you're here to learn a little bit about mathematics. Okay, so I'm just asking you if you really want to learn and be at your best and really, you achieve your full potential in mathematics and anything else, you got to learn how to focus. All right, you got to have that discipline, and then things will go very, very well for you. But in the meantime, if you still need some notes, and you don't have any notes maybe right now because you haven't been taking notes, no problem. You can use my notes. So I offer detailed, comprehensive math notes to include pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, and trigonometry. You can find the links to those notes in the description of this video. All right, so if you think you know how to answer this question, go ahead and pause the video and answer it. But let's talk real quick about the cosine graph, and I'm also going to throw in the sine graph as well. All right, so basically, the cosine graph, this is again, it continues on over and over again, but we're just going to look at it from here to here, okay, start to finish. So when you're looking at the cosine graph, all right, we start with 0 degrees and we end at 360 degrees. All right, so halfway through is what? Well, halfway through is 180 degrees. So this point would be what? Well, that's 90 degrees, and this point is 270 degrees. So now, hopefully, okay, if you remember what the question was, you can answer it, right? So from here to here, that's 180 degrees, it's 270 degrees. So how many degrees from here to here? Well, it's 270 minus 180, that is 90 degrees. Okay, so that is the answer. It's as simple as that. But oftentimes you're going to see, very often, matter of fact, you're going to see these same values expressed with radians. Okay, so for example, I could have given you this same question. This one been pi. This is 2 pi. Okay, and that's still 0. But what's 270 degrees as radians? Could you answer that question? What's 270 degrees as a radian? All right. Now, I don't want to go off on too many tangents. We did answer this question, but let's take a look at this real quick. Okay. Let me erase this here. So we know the answer is, I'm going to review this again one more time just to make sure that we understand it. But let's go ahead and just practice real quick what 270 degrees is as a radian. So we have to multiply this by a conversion factor. Okay. Now the conversion factor is pi over 180 degrees. So you can see our zeros cross cancel. So this leaves us with the fraction 27 pi over 18. So 9 goes into 27.3, and then 9 goes into 18.2. So that's 3 pi over 2. That's what 270 degrees is equivalent to. So if you're watching this video and you're maybe studying sine and cosine, this is stuff that you need to know, right? Radians and how to go from radians to degrees, degrees to radians. Very, very important stuff. But just kind of threw this in as a bonus because I didn't want to leave any of you out there, unsure about anything about when it comes to degrees or radians. All right, now let's talk about the value of these things. So we talked about from here to here, okay, that's 180 degrees. This is 270 degrees. Of course, we can have our radian equivalent, so that's 90 degrees from here to there. Okay, perfect. Now let's kind of just mess around here for a second, and I'm going to ask you, what is the cosine of 90 degrees? What is the value of cosine of 90 degrees? I am not asking you to go get your calculator and plug in cosine of 90 degrees. I want you to use the graph. What is the value of cosine of 90 degrees? Well, the cosine of 90 degrees is what? Well, this is 0 degrees. This is 180 degrees. So halfway through is 90 degrees. So the value of cosine 0 degrees, all right, let's just kind of start from right here, is 1, okay? That is our little amplitude here, all right? So as this goes down right here, what's the value? It's 0, okay? What's the cosine of 180 degrees? Okay, well, right down here, the cosine of 180 degrees is -1. So you can kind of, double check my work by going into your calculator and just, testing to see if, in fact, I am correct. And then way up here, this would be what? 360 degrees. So the cosine of 360 degrees, of course, would be a +1. We're back up at 1 again. And then at 270, it's going to be what? 0 as well, right? Cosine 270 degrees is 0. So you need to be able to interpret these graphs with degrees and radians. This is the cosine graph. I did kind of promise you I would show you the sine graph. So what's the sine graph look like? And this is a quick sketch. Let me draw this a little bit better. Okay. Now its amplitude is both positive and -1. So this thing is going to go up like this and going to go like that. Okay. So you got to know this stuff. So it starts at 1 and it ends at -1. This is the graph of sine x. All right. So different than cosine. Here, let's put cosine there. Here. Let's see if I can do this without messing up. There's cosine. Okay. This is cosine. And this is sine. In the same, it works the same way as I just did with the cosine as well, determining angles, etc. But knowing the graph of functions in mathematics is extremely valuable, very, very important. And in terms of values of sine and cosine, if you're taking trigonometry, or if you're going to be taking trigonometry, you're going to be given a lot of test questions, quiz questions, homework questions. Well, homework's a little bit different because you can kind of use your calculator. But my point is, you're going to be given plenty of quiz and test questions where you cannot use your calculator. Okay, your teacher said, all right, this part, you can't use your calculator. You're going to have to do everything by hand, means that you're going to have to interpret these graphs, and you're going to have to be an expert with sine, cosine, and tangent. But you could definitely do it because you will be taking excellent notes after watching this video. You'll be like, I don't know, that YouTube math guy, he told me to take notes. I'm just going to go and listen to him. And you know what? He was right. I'm remembering this stuff. I'm doing well. So, hey, if this is going to help you out now or in the future, please go ahead and just assume it's going to help you out, and smash that like button, because that helps me out. Okay, so we're helping each other out, right? You watch my video, you like it, I help you out with math. It's a good deal. Also, if you're new to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. I've been on YouTube for 10 plus years. I have over 1,000 videos organized from basic to advanced math. I'm posting content all the time. So if you like my instruction, I have a ton of stuff that you can learn from. Again, just go on my channel. You'll see the various playlists. But my best math help will certainly be within my math help program. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.